Good morning, everyone. I'm a couple minutes late here, but my name is Erin, and I'm coming to you from Dances with Wool, which is a yarn store located in Midlothian, Virginia, just outside the city of Richmond. And this is our weekly Inspire Me segment, where we talk about a new product that's come into the shop or talk about a pattern or two, just to give you some inspiration as you are looking for new things to make. So as always, at the top of each of these little episodes, we always have to give you a rundown about how you can shop with us. This week's a little different than normal. So this week we are operating on a zero contact basis. We've unfortunately had a COVID exposure. Debbie's mother has COVID, the owner, and unfortunately Debbie is also tested positive. So she's obviously home quarantining and has been for a while, but we are continuing to operate on a zero contact basis this week until we all get past the 10-day mark. So today, if you need anything, I am here until 3 o'clock, and you can always shop us online, as is always the case, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from your couch in your pajamas on our website, which is danceswithwoolrva.com. I'm going to link our website and everything else I talk about in the comments below this video as soon as I'm done. I'm here solo today, so we can't do it live linking while I'm talking, but as soon as I'm done, I will get all the links up for you so that you can find everything I talk about easily. You can select curbside pickup when you shop online, and you can come pick things up today, but it is zero contact, so I've got a table that I have outside the door. When you get here, you give me a call. I open the door, pop your order onto the table, close the door again, and then you're able to come up and get it. We will be able to open our normal hours and for in-person shopping tomorrow, Saturday, January 9th. So if you've been wanting to come up to the store and do some in-person shopping, we will be here. We will be open. We will be, the folks who are working are past our quarantine time period, and we are all set and ready to welcome you back. And so beginning next week, we will go back to our normal hours, which are Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. As a reminder, masks are absolutely mandatory. You must wear them over your nose and mouth the entire time you are in the store. We also will be asking you to please be mindful about social distancing in the shop. We do have stickers on the floor to kind of help remind you. We ask one person, if somebody's standing close to a sticker looking at yarn, we ask you wait for them to move away before you step in to take a look. We also will be adhering to our limit of 10 people in the shop at a time. That does include staff. So if there are 2 staff members working, we can have up to 8 people in the store shopping at a time, just to allow everybody to be able to space out. And so we will be open tomorrow for in-person shopping, but we are asking everybody to please help us out as we try to do our best to keep you safe, keep our staff safe, because that is our number one priority. Now, today I am going to be talking about hats. So we hope that some of you, we know some folks joined us for our Hats On Knit Crochet Along. We always start off the year in January with a hat making knit along, crochet along, and we had a cast on party on New Year's Eve on Zoom. I know some of you joined Debbie and you guys had a great time, but it is definitely not too late to join our Hats On Make Along. You have until the end of February, actually. So what we do throughout the years, we try to have multiple of these knit crochet alongs. For this one, you can select any adult hat pattern you like. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to make, as long as it fits a grown-up head and not a teeny baby head. You can make it and then submit your photo to our finished objects thread in our Ravelry group. And we will be drawing, at the end of February, we'll close that thread and we will draw 3 prizes. So they're going to be pretty good. We have our first prize will be a hat kit. So it'll be a skein of fingering weight yarn, a skein of Shibui Silk Cloud, mohair silk lace weight, and an Ikigai pom-pom of your choice. So that'll be a fun kit that you get to put together if you're the first prize winner. Our second prize will be a $25 gift card to the store that you can spend on whatever you like. And our third prize will be a custom embroidered notion pouch with our logo that's been done for us by Angie of Daisy Said by Angie. So we really hope you'll join us. Hats are great. I'm going to talk about a few patterns to share with you today. Hats are really a great opportunity for you to either learn a technique or maybe get a chance to practice a technique that you want to get a good handle on a small package. You know, before you apply it to something like a sweater, you can learn, or a bigger shawl, you can learn the technique on a hat. Makes it for a really nice smaller project, which is also why we tend to kick off our year with hats, because you know it's cold here in Virginia this week and it looks like winter. We're having a winter this year. So the first pattern I want to talk to you about today is called the Fairy SnowCap. This is by Romi Hill, and this is a great way to learn twisted stitches and lace work. If you have never done a lace pattern before, ever, this would be a great way to learn how to do lace. I made this hat. This is actually some of my hand spun yarn, some of my very first hand spun yarn that I ever made. I do own a couple of spinning wheels. I am a hand spinner as well as a knitter. But this pattern is written for worsted or even Erin weight yarn. So it's written for a heavier weight yarn. You still get to learn how to do all this pretty lace work, but with a thicker yarn and larger needles. So that's a great option. If you're looking for a hat pattern that would be really nice and snuggly and warm, and you'd like to learn how to do lace, this is a great one to learn on. So this is Fairy SnowCap by Romi Hill. So another great technique to learn while making hats is color work. I've got a couple of different styles of color work hats that I want to show you today. This one is such a great hat. This is called All You Need Is Love. And this is done by Carolyn McKenna, who's a dear friend of the shop. She's the dyer behind Swift Yarns. And this is a really fun pattern and a great way to learn stranded color work knitting. So when you work stranded, or sometimes you heard it called Fair Isle color work, you are working with two colors in each row and you are carrying the color that you're not using for particular stitches across the back in floats. This is a great pattern to learn or to practice stranded color work on. It's very simple. These cute little hearts and all of this other cute little color work. And the nice thing is too, bring it up here close to the camera, you can see the brim of this actually is cables. So this is another great pattern, another great way to learn a technique or practice a technique. You can do a cabled headband and then the overall color work. This is done out of DK weight yarn as well, which is nice. So again, slightly thicker yarn, slightly bigger needles, a great way to learn a pattern. So again, this is the All You Need Is Love hat by Carolyn McKenna of Swift Yarns. Yes, I will put all the pattern names and actually direct links to all the patterns, take you straight to Ravelry. As soon as I'm done with the video, you'll find them in the comments below. So, if stranded color work is something that you find a little bit intimidating, but you would like to do something with color work, another technique that you can use is called mosaic color work. So this is the Shiftalong hat by Andrea Mowry. No, I do not have kits. So I do not have kits for any of these hats, but if you would like help selecting yarn, you can always look on the website. You can always schedule a virtual shopping appointment today. I am doing that today. I'm here until 3. You can schedule those on our website. I will put that link in the comments, and then also you can give the shop a call. But this is the Shiftalong hat, and this is written with fingering or sport weight yarn. Andrea in her sample uses a skein of Spin Cycle dyed in the wool, which is their sport weight yarn. We have a pretty good selection of. I actually knit this hat when it came out a couple of years ago, and what I used was just a variegated fingering weight yarn. We all have them in our stash, those beautiful skeins of variegated fingering yarn that you buy at fiber festivals or when you go to visit a yarn shop, maybe when you're on vacation, and they're just so pretty, and you buy them and you bring them home and then you have no idea what to do with them. This is a great pattern for using those variegated yarns. So what I did was I just picked a light main color. And this is mosaic knitting. So mosaic knitting, you are actually knitting stripes. So you're only working with one color at a time. And what you're doing is slipping stitches from the previous row up into your current row, and that is what is creating this color work effect. So there's no floats on the inside. There's no floats that you have to worry about. There's no charts you have to read. There's nothing. This is just slipped stitches. So mosaic is a great way to add color work into your toolbox without having to worry about trying to manage floats and things. So again, this is the Shiftalong hat by Andrea Mowry. She uses spin cycle dyed in the wool, which we have a good color selection of right now, but you can also, like I did, pick out that skein of variegated fingering weight yarn that's sitting in your stash that you have no idea what you're going to do with. Find a semi-solid to pair it with and work this hat. And then the last one I have for you is another pattern by Carolyn McKenna of Swift Yarns. This is the Evening Star hat. So this is Evening Star. Don't mix this up with our Even Star year-long knit-along, which is the big pie shaw. This is Evening Star. And this hat uses a couple different techniques. This is a fun way to explore texture because you are holding a fingering weight yarn together with either a mohair silk lace weight or a Surrey silk lace weight. There's also a little bit of texture in this fun starburst stitch, but then there's beads in this hat. So if you have ever wanted to add beading to your knitting, this would be a great hat and a great way to do that. This sample is knit out of Little Fox Yarns Vixen, which is her merino silk fingering weight base, held together with her Nuage, which is a Surrey alpaca silk blend. And I absolutely love this hat. This is such a beautiful hat. And of course, we have a wonderful selection of faux fur pom-poms in right now, if you're looking. So this would be, like I said, a great way to play with texture and to learn how to put some beading into your knitting. So again, this is the Evening Star hat by Carolyn McKenna. So we've talked about hats a lot lately. If you go back to watch our previous episode of This Is So Not a Podcast, episode 2, we talk about some hats. If you go to our Ravelry group, we have an information thread for the Hats on Knit Crochet Along, and in that I've got a post where I link a ton of pattern ideas. But hats are a fun way to kick off the year with your making, to learn a new technique, to maybe practice a skill that you want to improve on this year. So I hope you found something maybe this morning that you would like to make, or that you will go and check out our Ravelry group to find more pattern ideas. As I said, everything that I talk about is going to be linked in the description, in the comments below this video here on Facebook. And then this video will go to our YouTube channel. I'll get it uploaded a little bit later today. So if you know somebody who would enjoy this but maybe doesn't have Facebook, you can always watch our Inspire Me's there. And if you have not yet, I would encourage you to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. The next episode of our podcast, This Is So Not a Podcast, is coming. Unfortunately, it's been delayed a little bit, but we are hopeful over the next probably 2 to 3 weeks, we will have episode 3 up and ready for you. Debbie's been doing a lot of making while she's home in quarantine, so that's been good. I hope everybody is having a good week. I do hope everybody stays safe, stays well, stays warm with the weather that we've got coming in, and we will talk to you next week on Inspire Me. Bye.